Very good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's week ahead session that we host on the weekend. Looking at the week ahead, no real difference to the isolation. It's just called the week ahead. So before I start, trading is risky, in particular CFDs and spread bets. These are the devices that give you exposure to the FX markets. Inherently high risk with margin gearing. Please do be aware that these signals aren't a personal recommendation to you. Therefore, you don't have the protection that you may expect you will have. And lastly, Synergy is authorized and regulated by the FCA to deliver this service. Let's start. It seems things are back on track. We've got trades that are swinging in our favor. We've seen a number of TP3 trades hit this week, and that's great. It just seems that the markets have moved out of a phase. The summer is drawing to a close, and we're getting back some big participants to the market space. So let's start and review. First up, we've got AUD CAD. Now, let's get to where we are on AUD CAD. AUD CAD is here. So it looks like an absolute mess, I bet, to you guys. But to those that have been following, there is a little bit of method in the madness. So we got this high and we got this low, and contained within this high and low, we've got the pattern. We've got the 1, the 2, and the 3. It's quite subjective. People may say this is 1, or this is 1, or this is 2, whatever. But that's how I see it. And on the way up, it's subsequently the similar kettle of fish. So we're looking for this first zone that I believe we've identified. High, 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 low ultimately, and then internally high highs, high lows. This is the outside structure that contains the price action till it breaks out. So we had a first break, second break, and we're expecting a third up to the peak. That's it. We have taken this long. It's a lovely looking setup. We're in it. We're on TP2 at the moment. Is there anything for us to get excited about? Yes, there is. There is indeed. This will be an entry for us next week. So I want to know about here. I'm writing that down because that is a fantastic looking setup. Just got to charge my notepad. Yeah, beautiful looking setup. So that's 2 weeks. No, it's not quite 2 weeks of rise, but all the same, it looks very enticing. Okay, let's move on. So we caught this guy. Where do we catch him? I think we caught him here or here. I think we caught him up here. A bit of a late entry. Bit of a late entry, but a good entry all the same. What's going on here? Okay, so I'm just going to get my page up. Dated the 18th. Org. So AUD CAD is high on the list. Moving on, this is AUD CHF. So we decided to break one of the rules that we shouldn't break, but it just looked too enticing to not. So we have the market cycle all the way down here. This was too easy and they just shook it up. Smashed it to the top, smashed it to the bottom, and now they're going to try and create some sort of recognizable trend. I can see 3 down, 1, 2, 3, and I can see 1, 2, bang. Is it going to give a 3? This is the moment where you have to, throw a little bit of caution to the wind. Nothing's a gimme. If you do it enough and you've looked at these signals enough, you know that this sort of setup tends to play out. It is in the peak. It is a generational long if it carries on. ADNZD, this guy is getting back up to the high. It has created a Gartley, and I do like what I see here. It's a dangerous setup because it is in line with the trend ultimately, and that Gartley is holding. So it is something that I think next week we're going to have to entertain. ADNZD question mark. It does look, I mean, it really does. We completed the harmonic lower. Is it going to squeeze up to here? Is it? Maybe. I don't know. Can't be sure until it does. So we'll just chill out on that. AUD USD mega move. Let's just put this picture in context of what we're seeing. We're seeing 1, 2. So we are still expecting further downside. What we have here is 1, 2, and 3. It's given. Now this may want to get up to here. May do. If it does, fair play. We're still at the top of level 2. Let's see if the market's given us any other clues. So we've got a week of rise and a second week of rise. So the likelihood is it's going to give us a third new high. Pass for now. CAD CHF. Like all CHF pairs, trying to work its way higher. 1, 2, 3. We're still below the previous lower high, so it is a lower high at the moment. It's a lower high, and within that lower high, we're creating high highs, high lows. So what you need to think about, folks, is when one of these key pivots is broken, retested, maybe retested again, and then you go. You have to be that sort of patient-minded. JPY, let's check you out on the daily. It's easier to see you on the 2-day. There we are. So simply making a recovery after the harmonic swing we've seen here within the second zone of consolidation, potentially a higher low. Euro AUD is a thing of beauty, and we caught it naturally. We caught this thing all the way down here on the red ABCD. Just a wondrous trade. Absolutely spectacular trade. 1,200 pips. I mean, yeah, say no more. But the picture's there, 1, 2. I did say this is going up on the wall. EuroCAD, another one that's brewing, breaking the, we've got a change of the structure ultimately. We've broken this high for one time, and now we're looking for 2 and then entry. And if we look a bit closer, it is starting to show signs of setting up. It is a big one for next week, and you just got to see, you got to learn the method, which isn't that hard, but it's just lots of hours. And you just need to, once you've got that template on your eyes, scan the markets and try and pick these things out. So Euro CHF, 1, 2, and it's given us the 3, and it's looking quite nice as a recovery. We can see the whole cycle 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 is complete, and we've done what the other pairs have done. This is a double bottom, potentially generational long. Euro GBP, we traded this guy all the way up here, and now it's just coming back to retest the break. This would be the break I'd like to see it retest before I'm even interested in considering more adventures with this guy. Euro JPY, same sort of story with JPY pairs. Ultimately, it's a higher low, or it's a start at level 1. We don't know until it shows us more. Euro NZD, similar thing to Euro AUD, just a stunning looking setup. We took it long as well. We don't miss these setups, it's when it's choppy, it messes with us. Euro USD, setting up something big as well, in my eyes. So we've got the change and the break. Yeah, this one is very close to being extremely, extremely, extremely good. So as you can see, trades are starting to pick up. That's 4 for next week now. GA. Again, GA is not a million miles away, I tell you. That's getting written down. Now, where are we in the cycle? You can see that stunning setup. So we've got the change and we've got the break. Break, retest, 1. The 1 is the key. Say no more. GBP CAD. Again, high highs and high lows. We caught this guy leaving level 1 consolidation, and we're trying to catch it again here. The only thing I do not like about it is it gave us 2 weeks of drop counter trend and never gave us a third. Yes, that can happen sometimes. That's one of the risks of this one. I'm not major keen. GBP CHF, we took this guy as well. Why? Because we can see in the sell-off that we recognize the pattern 1, 2, 3, and we know that it must give us the same on the way up, and we could see it had 3 weeks of drop. We could then identify where we were in the market cycle. We can see that we're in the first zone of consolidation, expecting higher prices now, kind of given its hand away somewhat. That red consolidation is wrong because it didn't play out. So you have to delete that. But what we definitely have was a change of structure up here and a move all the way back to the low. Noticed it's a higher low, and the type of bottom seems to be a V bottom. So we shall see how we go. We're in it. Waiting for TP3. We may have hit it already. GJ, same sort of story, high low stuff with Japanese. GBP USD, we took this baby. So what I could see was level 1 consolidation. I knew I wanted to take it. I could see a lot of positive sort of structure. I saw a change and a break. And what else did I see? I saw something else. Sit down here. Change. What got me in? Right. Yeah, nice. We're in anyway. NCAD, we sent this guy as well. Really like it. A lot of structure playing out. This is the lows of level 1 consolidation. And we're expecting higher prices. Simple as that. Buying the lows off the technique, and that's it. NZDCHF also threatening. Killed the stops, killed the longs that thought we had it here, like me, but you never know when they're going to throw that curveball. This is all textbook until it becomes reality. And the reality is the market makers need to move the market. They don't really care about what picture you've got. You might have the framework, but they might blur the lines to the point where you think it's not working. But that's what happens. You have to wait for this stuff, really. But that's harder said than done. NZD, JPY, huge correction. Maybe the correction's ongoing. We do know that Japan is raising interest rates. NZD, USD, same as AUD, USD, creating lower highs ultimately, but quite aggressive on the way up. Gold, well, I mean, what can you say? Entries off the 50, level 1, level 2, expecting higher prices. It's away. And if I give you some context over the monthly chart, level 1, level 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, but ultimately a big push 1 of 3, or is this 1, 2, 3? It does get confusing. That's the picture. What else do we have here? USD CAD. This is my favorite by far of how we look. 1, 2. We are at the upper end of consolidation and failed to break through. We did have 3 pushes to a high. We have broken and retested and failed, it seems, at the minute. The harmonic is at play. Harmonic. We just need to wait and see. I do believe that there is some form of sequence against us, 1 week, 2 week. So we sit and we wait. The USD CHF is doing this sort of thing. We sit and wait, and that's about it, folks. So listen, if you have any further interest in learning or looking for more videos on the subject matter, I do have a personal YouTube channel at MelonsTrade. So you can find that on YouTube, and there's also a newsletter that I need to write shortly as well that I do tend to try and send each week. There are lapses. But otherwise, if you're interested, please reach out, direct message me, info@synergy-markets.com. or at Synergy Markets on Telegram, and or Synergy Signal, sorry. And yeah, that's about it. So have a great rest of your weekend. I wish you all the best, and yeah, see you next week. Cheers.